What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Snuggle YouTube channel. And before we get to Kris Hill's interview, here's his deck list that he actually used to get top 8 in Mississippi State. So as you see, it's a Gengar Trevenant deck, and we haven't really even focused this deck at all. So I'm going to have to go into a little explanation of what the deck does. So we have the main focus is around Gengar. Gengar has 170 HP and it has an attack called Night Attack, which you put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. That's not the attack you really use. So you want to use Dark Quarter here. Dark Quarter does 60 damage, and your opponent's Pokemon is now poisoned, but you also switch Gengar with one of your bench Pokemon, which is pretty neat. So the opponent's Pokemon is poisoned, and you switch to a bench Pokemon. So here you want to switch into Trevenant, which Trevenant has the ability Force Curse, which as long as this Pokemon is in your active spot, your opponent can't play an item class from his or her hand, which is really good nowadays. There's so many decks that rely on trainer cards, and that's how Trevenant kind of shut down most of the decks. And I mean, Seismitoad is really good, and the reason why Seismitoad is good is because you can't play the trainer cards. So with Force Curse, it kind of is like the attack, but it's just an ability by itself. And with the deck, what you see is Trevenant's it's weak to Dark, and so is Gengar. So kind of to cover that, he played a 3/3 Raichu. Now the Raichu has Circle Circuit, which does the attack does 20 damage times 9 bench Pokemon in your side of the field. So you can do up to 100 when you have 5 in play, which times 2 is 200, which one charges Evital's and Evital EXs, which is pretty neat. He goes over that a little bit. He goes over the Ninetales. If you don't know, Ninetales has Barrier Shine, which each player can't play any stadium cards from his or her hand, which is pretty neat. Obviously, the Jirachi and Mr. Mime are pretty cards we see in every deck. Sorry. And besides that, everything's pretty much straightforward. He talks about Silent Lab some, so I don't want to ruin too much. And we didn't go over Mystery Energy, but Mystery Energy is a really good card in Psychic decks, because the retreat cost of this Pokemon this card is attached to is 2 less. So that means Gengar has free retreat, which is pretty neat. And also it gives, it gives Trevenant 1 retreat cost? Yeah. So it'll give Trevenant 1 retreat cost instead of just the 3. So it'll be pretty cool, so you can just retreat that way if needed. But yeah, everything else in the deck is pretty much straightforward. He does play 1 teammates, and yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Snuggles YouTube channel. Today we're doing another States question and answer video with
Kris Hill.
And where are you from?
I'm from Pumpkin Center, Louisiana.
Pumpkin Center? Sounds like a pumpkin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's out there in God's country, you know.
Okay. So where'd you play at last weekend?
I played in Mississippi State.
And how'd you end up doing?
I did top 8. So I played Gengar, Trevenant, Raichu, Ninetales.
Okay.
So
how'd you end up doing a Swiss overall?
I went 4-1-1. I lost my first round, and then I went, 3 wins, and then I tied against Scott, and then won the last round.
Okay. Now, was the tie against Scott intentional, or did you accidentally tie?
No, it was on accident. We were actually debating on whether to ID, because I mean Scott's a really good friend of mine, so we were just talking about whether, do we risk it or just guaranteed somebody actually getting in.
Yeah, sure.
And so we actually decided to play it out, and I felt really confident in my board position. I think I was up 2-5, and then his Seismitoad had a buttload of damage on it. And anyway, it was all cool though, no sour feelings or anything. Sure. It just played out. We even started 2 minutes late too, so I was just oh! But it's all cool.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He let me take back something, and so.
Okay, yeah, that's always nice. So what happened to your last round? Were you sweating bullets because you had to win it to get in, kind of thing?
Yeah, I was, but I was actually really excited because I got paired against Flareon, and I was just yes, all day. But it was actually crazy because what ended up happening was my opponent was issued a game loss, game 2. Game 1, it just went normal. Stream Trevenant, turn 3, do Lysander's Trump, and then just sweep with Gengar from there. But so game 2, he puts down Deoxys, and both of us legitimately forgot Deoxys was on board, and so the damage calculation was incorrect, and 2 turns had gone by. Actually, trumped card I think twice.
Yeah.
in a row, and then but I was sitting on junipers, and obviously like my board state, my tree would have been knocked out, and I had a like phantom on the bench, but I had junipers, so like I wouldn't have Lysander trumped the second time. I would have got another tree set up,
Yeah, sure.
hopefully. So anyway, and then like after he knocks out Trevenant, like after the third attack, he realizes, oh, this should have been knocked out like last turn, and I was just like, oh my gosh, you're right, like. And then so we called the judge over, and then we explained the whole situation, and they issued a game loss for I guess game state being irreplaceable or whatever that's called.
Yeah. So,
Which I was, obviously excited, like happy that I won, but I felt like a jerk because that's how it ended. But,
yeah. I mean, but you won game 1, so I mean, I guess it would have been different. I guess if you lost game 1 and then got the loss or the automatic win in the game 2 kind of thing. So
yeah.
So what had happened to top 8?
I played against Darkrai.
Mhm.
I played against Max from Texas. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Armitage.
Armitage, yeah. And I got 2-0'd. It was kind of rough, honestly. Game 1, I tried a strategy of just trying to slow him down. I knew he ran Keldeos and Darkrai and really not a lot of switch cards, so I played Ninetales and Silent Lab just to try to slow him down and still go the Gengar route with Tree, but keeping Raichu's, just saying, hey, if you attack with Evital, you're gonna get smoked. But obviously, like, game plans don't go out all the way like they should,
Yeah,
and
true.
because I was actually lacking Burbank, my damage came up short on 10 to knock out his Darkrai with Raichu, and I was a little bitter about that, just because I was just like, oh, what you gonna do?
Yeah, true.
And then game 2, I try to go like an aggro Raichu approach, and I prized 2 Pikachus. And I was just like, oh well. I mean, I knew it was going to be a uphill battle to begin with, but I was just thankful I made top 8.
Yeah.
And he's an incredible player, so he played it out perfectly. He also dropped 3 baby Evitals on me game 1, which is never good for Phantoms.
Yeah, true.
And he played 2 Darkrai's. I mean, it was just a really good, solid build, and there's really not much you can do.
That's true. Alright, so I want to talk about your list some. So how crucial was the 1/1 Ninetales?
Funny enough, it wasn't like super crucial because I never played against the decks where I actually teched it in for.
Mm-hmm.
Like round 1, I played against Toad. They play Verbank. That's good. Round 2, I played against Evital Toad, Slurpuff, which they play Verbank, which is good. I played against Dark round 3, Verbank as well. Night March. That was I got Ninetales up, I think, against Night March 1 round, but I mean that's not even relevant, like, because you just attack with Tree the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And then round 5, I played against Toad, like, again, Verbank.
Yeah.
And then round 6 was Flareon. Stadiums aren't really necessarily needed,
True.
except to bump frickin'
Training
that
center.
stadium, training center.
So was the right? I mean, the Ninetales basically in there just to kind of like Groudon and Kyogre stuff.
Yeah, in testing, like, Kyogre, I didn't find to be, like, a super, super terrible matchup, as long as I could keep Rough Seas off board, just because, I need the damage coming into my turn as well. Or not the damage, like, I need it to stick. Yeah,
Okay,
I need
yeah.
that damage to stick. So anyway, that was for that. It was also against Virizion. In testing, like, if I could get Ninetales, Silent Lab, like, that would definitely slow him down, and obviously Muscle Band Gengar 2-shots him.
True.
I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, it's obviously just, like, to keep my damage, like, in play, like,
Yeah.
with Verbank, but I played against Verbank all day.
I also like the idea too with Ninetales against Groudon. Once they do the attack, they can't ever put down another stadium too, so they can only do 100.
Yeah, definitely, and they have to have, I think it's 2 strong energies to kill a Trevenant.
Yeah.
like on him, and then obviously they're not one-shotting Gengar anymore. Like it's just
Yeah.
helpful.
It's sick. So, alright, so was the right. I mean, obviously the Raichus are in there for the Evital matchup, but was there anything else you used them for?
Oh yeah, all day. So Raichu and just in general is like a really solid like attacker that like is typically swinging from like 80 to like 120.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's good like just to like finish something off, or like against Toad. Like if it's the Garb version, like Trevenant's kind of aggravating to have to retreat, like attach and retreat all the time with Mystery Energy.
True.
So he's good to like swap into as a free retreater, and Toad can't like just regular Toad lasers can't one shot 90. So he was good for that, and he was just good like to start with, like to get the turn 2 trainer lock.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Pikachu, like get into Raichu and just like retreat and keep my Phantom safe.
Okay, that's true. So, what was your favorite matchup to play against this weekend?
Oh, definitely Night March.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was just easy. I would say like probably my match against like Darkrai Slurpuff. I mean, Evital Slurpuff Toad was like the most like had me on my chair of like I'm about to lose, but like I'm not. So that was really a fun matchup.
Okay. Now, you said that you attacked the trees. Did you really do that, or were you just saying just like
I would attack with tree. I think I can't remember if I attacked with him in Flareon or not.
Okay.
But for the most part, like the goal was to attack with Gengar, obviously. But
Okay.
like against Night March, I feel like he's your ideal attacker, just because he kills Mews really easily. And just like setting up like the 20 snipes is really nice too, especially like if you're missing Verbank or something like that, like you just need the additional damage.
Yeah,
it's
true.
nice. And then in testing, I thought this was always fun. Like every once in a while, if I was drawing dead, like I would astonish with Phantom, and every once in a while it would work. But I mean, that's just like it's just like a fun thing.
Yeah, it's true.
So.
So, what was your worst matchup to play against?
Definitely Darkrai, like the Max's list. Like it was just brutal. Yeah, I would definitely say that's the matchup like I don't necessarily want to see.
Okay.
But then again, like I felt like just like the second approach, like to the whole Pikachu's thing, like being prized. I don't know. Like it's not a good matchup either way.
Okay. So, how many championship points are you at currently?
I believe 170.
Okay.
That was my 6th event that I've attended this year.
Okay.
So I'm pretty happy with where I'm at.
Are you gonna go to any more states?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Louisiana.
Now, are you planning to bring Gengar back down there, or what?
I don't know, because I know a lot of the Texas players are big on Dark, and I mean, I'm not saying like I'm necessarily afraid to play against Dark.
Mm-hmm.
And Gengar is actually my favorite Pokemon, so I was just like, I just want to top with it. Like that's it,
That's all I want to do.
Yeah, but I actually like it's a deck I feel extremely comfortable with. I've been testing it for about 2 months, and so, like I know like the matchups like for the most part like the back of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the most important thing when you go into a tournament is like obviously you're gonna have your bad matchups, every deck does, but just knowing how to react to everything is very important.
Yeah, that's true. So, you want to give any shout outs to anybody or anything?
I actually would like to give a shout out to Tyler Niamura. I actually saw that he was playing Gengar Trevenant Tree, and I got really excited because it's like in test like I said, I've been testing the deck for 2 months, and I came to the conclusion that Raichu is necessary, and I just showed him my list and just gave him reasonings behind everything, and he suggested going up on the Mystery Energy count.
Okay.
Because I was actually only at 1, and it made a huge difference, like versus Toad. So like just really grateful. Like I've never met him, and he was just really awesome and really friendly.
That's great.
So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to give it, or just say kind of like input here, check out the music, the band I'm in, Redemption Family.
Okay.
It's what I do outside of Pokemon, and just would love for you guys to check it out.
Yeah. And do you have like a link to like Facebook or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Link is
I'll,
I think it's yeah. You can put it in the.
I'll put it down
bio.
below. Yeah. So that way people don't get confused on how to spell it or something.
Yeah.
All right, and that's it.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for doing this, and good luck in Louisiana.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. Take care.